Begin tonight with the roll call.
Joel Althauser.
Present.
Sue Fox Broker.
Present.
David Beasley.
Present.
Steve Walker.
Present.
Chad Miller.
Present.
Peg Wren.
Present.
Alma Tudor.
Present.
Robin Jones.
Here.
John Schwimmer.
Present.
Aaron Webb.
Here.
Cindy Lee.
Here.
Thank you, Emma. If you would, please, you stand for the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Lord of all creation, we come before you this evening to honor you and remind ourselves of your crucial standing in our lives. We ask for your blessings on this council meeting. We ask that your wisdom would guide us as we seek to accomplish the goals of tonight's agenda. Thank you for the opportunities you give us to serve you and to serve the residents of Kenton. May our actions and our attitudes please you this evening. We pray these things in your mighty name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. I'd ask that you consult the minutes of the prior meeting if you need to. Hopefully you've read them over. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes as they were submitted? Okay, hearing none, they'll stand approved as submitted. Citizens requesting time to speak. We have no one on the agenda this evening. However, there will be time at the end of the meeting under public participation or comments from the public, and that will be right after our legislation has been completed, and you'll have an opportunity to address the meeting tonight. Petitions. We do have a...
Mr. President, you omitted communications.
Oh, yeah, I did omit communications.
I wanted to note that I have received a powerful piece of communication from Invenergy as it relates to my position on regional planning, just noting the beginning of construction on Solar Energy 2, et cetera, et cetera. If anyone cares to see the information, I am more than happy to share it with you. Thank you.
And I have the same, and I actually, it was at the beginning, or I think it's the ending. I think it went online.
States of one and yeah.
And that's a required communication from Invenergy, I believe, to neighboring,
All impacted.
municipalities.
There you go.
Okay, now that I've skipped that, and David caught me, thank you, David. Petitions, we do have a petition submitted by resident Bill Keller. Before, I guess we go any forward on this, it's a petition to, I think all of you got a copy, asking for speed limit signs to be posted, but isn't this already a 25 mile per hour? Then that's solely your discretion unless you want.
No, yeah, I did see it.
Okay.
We can take street signs.
So, yeah, if you want to talk, I think we can just talk about that in streets and sidewalks, because that safety service director has the ability to add signs and get rid of signs to your pleasure.
I'm
Yeah,
confused though, from Carroll Street to Marie.
Yes.
Yes,
Be moving north on High Street.
Okay,
yeah.
I was trying to find where it was High Street. I don't see anything.
It's at his address where you look
Yeah,
at
it's-
11
I'm assuming it's High Street.
gotta pick
too.
out all
Okay,
the
I'm looking at
Assuming-
that, okay.
They're all High Street addresses. So,
Okay.
yeah, you're right, Sue.
I
That's
was just
really-
like, where are we talking?
Yeah.
I see that now.
This could become very expensive because once one group decides, then the next group would want it on their street, and the next group would want it on their street.
I drove Wayne,
I think
Cherry.
for everybody.
I drove Wayne, Cherry,
some-
and High. Wayne Street has 3.
Yeah.
Cherry doesn't have any, even with the park, and High doesn't have any. So, but yes, we've already had other petitions for speed limit signs and
On High Street with parking on both sides, it's hard to get up to over 25 miles an hour per hour as you're weaving in and out.
we'll take it up. at-
Okay. Just trying to save a little bit of time. If that's all right with everyone? Okay then, administrative reports. Chief Musser,
Nothing at the moment.
Chief Donnelly. Public Works, where's our next? Oh, because of Cindy's report, okay. Tim's not here, Tim's report, I'm sorry.
So we started up on our monthly reports again. This was the first one that Tim has done, so hopefully you'll be seeing more of them, and he's getting the hang of it, so.
Okay, nothing with economic development, so income tax, you do see the report through the end of December. Questions or concerns on that? All right. Also have the report to the city auditor, or from the auditor and treasurer to the mayor in your packet. Questions or comments on that? I think we have anybody here from the auditor's office, do we? Anything either of you need to add on behalf of the auditor? Okay. John, anything?
No.
I think you've got your report in there, though?
I
We
do
wait
have my
for that with bated breath every year. Well, thanks for submitting that. And any questions for John? Cindy?
Just want to remind the residents, with the cold weather, this is the time for frozen pipes to be happening, so your best bet is to leave the faucets drip a little bit, let that water run. Open up cabinet doors to let heat get underneath the cabinets. Also want to remind the residents that we do not salt side streets unless the police deem that it's a hazard. We will do hills. We do salt the major roads and up around the schools. And we don't plow until we get about 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches worth of snow. We have our blades set usually about 1 inch off the ground anyway, so we don't hit manhole covers and things like that. And I apologize for us not plowing the pavers. With as much money as we have put into our downtown so far, I didn't want our guys to tear them up with a plow, so we are just now getting the hang of how to properly care for all those, and I do apologize to the downtown business. Project update. I found out today that the detour for closing down Detroit Street, they're going to start going up Friday and Monday. The plan is currently to completely route truck traffic around the city of Kenton on state routes, so that means way outside the city of Kenton. So everybody just needs to be patient with us, because I'm sure we will have a lot of stragglers trying to come through town. So I don't know exactly when they'll shut Detroit Street down, but the detour signs are going to start going up Monday. So.
That would be the same day Buccaneers win the national championship?
Yeah.
That Monday?
That Monday, right with the president being inaugurated. Great day.
I was talking about in Portland.
Any questions for Cindy? Mayor Webb?
I just want to add to Cindy's comment on the detour. It's well beyond the city and it's well beyond the county. So I think you will see eventually, as trucks continue to figure it out, we will see stragglers, but we also have to remember, you know, it's not like we're not going to have semis. You have a lot of delivery, whether it's fuel delivery to our, you know, gas stations, anybody that's getting any kind of, you know, inventory and that kind of stuff. So you're definitely always still gonna see that amount of trucks, but they're pushing it out, well out. I mean, the south end should be, I think, 31 goes off at 7:39. So that's where they'll be taking them off there. Chief Musser was in that, and we're hoping to get some other law enforcement just to keep an eye on what's going on, because it's going to be shut that way for a pretty long time. So eventually, hopefully they get the hang of it. So it's a big project. I can't stress enough on this project. I don't, I'm going to take this one on, we have to do, and it's on me, better on our communication. So we'll keep working hard on that piece and getting it out. And again, it's information. And if you don't agree with the information, my best thing to put forward is come talk to us, come to council, talk to us, call me. 8:30 to 4:30, we are here every day. So we definitely want everybody's input, but again, this whole project, I mean, from design to everything's been out since 2021. So again, we're open to questions, and sometimes when we're in it every day, so we don't know what the questions are. There are concerns all the time of, and maybe we could answer those to make sense or not make sense, but you at least have the answer and not, rumor answer. But we're here for the information, and we'll do a better job on that piece too. And I know sometimes you see, just because you don't see big construction vehicles going up and down Main Street, if you look back here, all last week, past 2 weeks, they've been unloading every big sewer manhole thing for all Detroit. So that's been up and down Main Street. They're working behind Price Funeral Home, getting that sewer line done. So you've had a lot of construction vehicles going back and forth. I know you don't see it all the time, but again, if you have any questions, just, call us. Emma will get it to me, and I'll get to you at some point. So to get that, but I'll do a better job of communication. That's what I have.
All right, thank you. When it comes to committee reports, do any committees have a report this evening? With it being the beginning of the year, I thought I'd just ask that way. Okay then, we're going to move on. Individual council members, does anyone have a report this evening? Or even a comment regarding their appointment?
Grove Cemetery did have a meeting on January 8th. Just to give you guys an update on the fundraising for the roof for the chapel out there at the cemetery. We have reached 23% of our goal right at the moment with people donating. So we thank everybody in the community that's helping out with that.
Great. 23%. All right, thanks, Steve. Anyone else? Sue.
We did have a utilities meeting. We met with, the landlords, and we've been beginning that.
You did have the first meeting
Yes,
with
we
them.
did. What was the date of that?
30th.
30th.
Yeah.
30th. It was the 30th, I'm sorry.
30th of December.
Okay, so that process is underway then.
Yeah, we're still,
And meeting again on Wednesday?
we meet again this coming Wednesday at 5:30.
Here?
Yes.
Okay. Great, thank you, Sue, Steve, everybody who helped there, Chad. Okay then, no old business or new business unless someone has something. So we get right on to ordinances and resolutions. And you see we have 3 under first reading, so if you would, Emma, let's start with the first one.
Resolution number 005-24. This is a revised resolution. Resolution authorizing the city of Kenton to apply for, accept, and enter into a water supply revolving loan account agreement on behalf of the city of Kenton for planning, design, and/or construction of North Detroit Street water line and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan and declaring an emergency.
And when we say it was revised, okay.
So, yeah, down in section 1 where it says that the council hereby authorizes the safety service director, it used to read that the council hereby authorizes the city council of the city of Kenton to apply for. They needed to have a specific person appointed to be able to sign for this. It's the only thing that changed.
And the prior one, we actually approved and
Yes.
passed.
Yes.
Do we need to address that, John? That we passed one prior to that?
No,
This will just
this would be
negate
just, yes, it would
replace
negate, because they're not gonna accept
Supersede.
as drafted.
Okay. As such, I believe you wanted to move forward since we've already done this once.
Mr. President, I move for the suspension of the three-year rule for resolution number 005-24.
That's been
Second.
moved by David, seconded by Sue. We'll go ahead and vote on suspension of the rules.
Sue Fox Broker,
Yes.
David Beasley,
Yes?
Steve Walter.
Yes.
Chad Miller,
Yes.
Peg Ren.
Yes.
Rhonda Tudor,
Yes.
Robin Jones.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
I move for the adoption, Mr. President.
Thanks, David.
I'll
Second that.
Seconded by Peg. Is there any discussion? Okay.
David Beasley.
Yes?
Steve Walter.
Yes.
Chad Miller,
Yes.
Peg Ren,
Yes.
Rhonda Tudor,
Yes.
Robin Jones.
Yes.
Sue Fox Broker.
Yes.
That passes 7-0. Okay. Next item.
Resolution number 001-25, a resolution authorizing the city of Kenton to apply for, accept, and enter into a water supply revolving loan account agreement on behalf of the city of Kenton for planning, design, and/or construction of a water treatment facility and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan and declaring an emergency.
Yes, Cindy.
So this would be a 0% loan for 5 years. It's a planning loan through the EPA. This was a finding on our last EPA audit to come up with a plan with what to do with our water treatment facility. And so we decided we would apply for a loan to do that since it's 0%.
Is there a ballpark?
Yes, I did print that off. We got a quote, I think it was like $70,000.
Thank you. This does not have a need for immediate passage.
We got time. So if it's okay with everyone, we'll read that again in 2 weeks. Okay, the last item under first readings. Go ahead.
Resolution number 002-25, a resolution requesting the Hardin County Auditor to certify the current tax valuation of the city of Kenton and the revenue that would be generated by a 4.6 mil additional levy for fire protection and police protection and declaring an emergency.
Hopefully, council members, you had a chance maybe to talk, or at least some of you were approached by the mayor and/or chief. But if not, there's going to be quite a bit of explanation here, so I guess I'll turn it over to either Lynn or John or whoever wants to start.
Well, let me explain the process.
Right.
And then anyone else can fill in on, the need. So anytime you do a levy, and if you think back, we've done this, most of you have been in office, we did a renewal of the Grove Cemetery levy. Okay, so anytime you're putting on a financial levy, we have to request the amount. Even though I can pretty much figure it out, we have to request the amount from the Hardin County Auditor. That's by statute, okay? For the amount, Mike Bacon will give us a letter then telling us the amounts and the cost per 100,000 of taxable value, so people can have a good idea on what it would cost them in the tax bill, okay? When we have that resolution, we then need to pass a second ordinance where we're actually certifying the issue to the Board of Elections, okay? Our timing is, we have to have this ordinance passed as well as the following ordinance once we get the letter from Mike Bacon, all before the first meeting in February. So really we have this meeting and next meeting
to pass both of those pieces of legislation. We can't pass the other one until we get this one passed and get the letter of certification from Mike Bacon. So we need to pass them both, waiving 3 read with emergency language, because if they don't go in, even if we waive the 3 read, legislation doesn't go into effect till 30 days after passage. Well, that gets us beyond the Board of Elections, the Secretary of State deadline for the primary, which is, again, I believe the 5th of May. So that's really the timing here. So.
My turn. So just to bring everybody in, so this has been discussed a lot. I mean, it has always been a discussion ever since we've been in. You know, I guess there's always never the right time. But as we continue to go year after year, costs, inflation, what's that look like to our general fund? Both Chief Musser and Chief Donnelly, you know, they have the say in this, and I'm backing them 100%. They know their department, they understand their needs, and they understand what it takes for the future of this department, of both of these departments. So, you know, that's where we're coming from the administration side, to what the chiefs have requested, and to be honest, what they need to maintain. I have to think that most people think we live in a very safe community, that our emergency services are top-notch, and to keep that at that level is imperative. There's one footnote I want to be put out very, very early. The police and the fire are general fund. They're not water, they're not sewer, they're not storm enterprise fund. This project is not general. Very, very few dollars have come out of the general for this. This is all enterprise water sewer. So it's, because it can be very easily like, well, there's all your money, what you're doing downtown. It's not in the same pot. That's not generated from those tax dollars. That's generated from usage in the enterprise fund. So just to be very clear on that, so I'm going to give Chief Musser and then Chief Donnelly just a quick intro, or your thoughts on your department and what you're hoping for.
So, first of all, I'm not a fan of these sorts of things. I never have been. I'm not even a fan of government, believe it or not. It's odd because I've only had a government job my entire adult life. I've had the Marine Corps and I've had this. So my skill set's pretty limited. But I've been in this position for 9 years, and men and women that have been here for any amount of time, like Joel or Dave, I probably exchanged words with them, sometimes harshly, over the years, and it is alwain regard to situations like this. You know, when I took this job, we were at a what you would call rock bottom in terms of vehicles that did not get us to calls, maintenance issues, equipment issues, issues with this building, issues with the roads, things that had quite literally been neglected for decades. And we are in a better place now in regard to those things than when we have ever been. But it took 9 years, as far as the police department goes, to get there. We have a relatively nice fleet of cars, you know, a modern police department with mobile data technology, body cameras, all of those things to help us do our jobs. But I'm not going to kid anybody when I say this has been a fight for 9 years. We have been robbing Peter to pay Paul to try and make that happen. And for whatever reason, these last couple years have been extraordinarily difficult in terms of this bizarro, upside-down world economy that we have experienced. And when I say that, I mean, we find ourselves now in a situation in which the police departments and police officers are better equipped and better paid and better funded than we've ever seen in this country. And that makes it difficult for us to compete or to do our jobs. When the cost of a car, in 2016, we got a cruiser for our canine handler, which was new for at the time. We got it on a federal grant. So we didn't, I think, if I recall correctly, Dave, I think we had to buy it, and then the federal government reimbursed us. And, you know, that car was somewhere in the realm of $30,000 to $40,000. We, as you guys know, we just bought a canine car, and the car plus the outfitting is more in the realm of $60,000 to $70,000. So trying to keep up with that when we do not have revenue is a very difficult thing to do. And, you know, it's not just limited to cars. Body armor has gone from $300 or $400 to $1,200, and that's something we have to replace every 5 years. And I could sit up here, and my wife could come in here and just repeat all the crazy stuff I've said the last 9 years when it comes to finance and budgeting and being a competitive modern police department. But we're at a point now in which we cannot keep up. And I don't know if it's ever going to level out. I don't know if wages are ever going to at some point level out. And, you know, I have police departments like Powell, if anyone's familiar with Powell in the Columbus area, Delaware, Dublin, Marysville, Findlay. Their human resource teams are now emailing our officers to try and steal them to go elsewhere. And Powell is starting at $117,000 for police officers right now. So, and they're incredibly equipped, brand new police department, weight room. I'm not asking for all of that. I'm just trying to keep our officers well equipped, trained, capable, and wanting to come to work and stay here every day. So it is kind of a critical situation, I'm afraid. I'm running out of options to, you know, pizza parties on Friday. It's not gonna cut it anymore, guys. So that is where we're at. I could talk about this for hours at some point, but I'm just gonna come in kind of a soft landing here and tell you guys where I am at. You know, and we do have employees that that I've stolen from other departments, and they've come here for various reasons. Some of them are from here, but we've also I've lost more officers in the last 2 years than I have in the entire 9 years. I was a police chief, and it all comes down to money at the end of the day, equipment, training, salaries, things like that. So I hope that was
We are at a
easy
better
here.
disadvantage.
We are, and I like the mayor had pointed out, you know, before, we have somewhere in the realm of 30 to 35% of our citizens that are going to work every day and paying their taxes and doing the right thing, you know. And I won't get into our revenue sources, but as far as the cops go, you know, we get income tax, we get property tax. If I hear one more Facebook mouth breather come at me with, we need more business, we need more sales tax. We don't get sales tax. Most people don't realize that. The city as a whole, correct, doesn't get any sales tax.
And we get $7 on every 100 for property tax.
Yeah, we get almost no property tax.
It's just a very slim piece of pie. So we're over the whelming majority is just basically income tax.
Yeah. We don't get tickets. We don't get money from tickets, too, by the way. I could arrest 100 people. I could arrest one. My paycheck is going to be the same. Same goes for, you know, a gentleman told me the other day we need to write more tickets if we need money. And I'm like, where? Take me down that road of logic there. We don't get money from citations. It's not a thing, but.
Did you give him a ticket?
I did. It was a truck driver. You want to know how much we were taking in on this scheme of citing truck drivers, but,
I'm sorry.
okay, I'll stop now.
I mean, I guess I just kind of echo some of the sentiments of Chief Musser in the respect that probably one of the biggest things we're seeing at the fire station and stuff is that station's going to be 45 years old this year, and there's still some of the original pieces and parts that are getting wore out and stuff. So that's one of the things that possibly that maybe some of this levy funding could help free up is bring up some of the maintenance and replacement of some of the stuff down at the fire station. Plus, I know we're kind of in the same situation with turnover and stuff, but I also look at surrounding departments and even the bigger departments that they're losing guys just like we are. So it's not so much a small versus big department type thing. It's just I feel like more of a Northwest Ohio to Central Ohio migration is where the money seems to be at kind of at this point too. So, because I know Lima Fire Department, I know at one point in time they'd lost, I think, about 4 or 5 guys within a very short period of time down to, I think it was Mifflin Township down on the east side of Columbus. So it's one of those things that, I mean, I've kind of accepted that we're going to be a stepping stone for a lot of guys and stuff, but at the same time, I want it to be if they do choose to move on, that hopefully we're a good step for them and we can find that next one to come fill his place. And so, but like I say, I know our equipment and stuff, unfortunately, is a little higher dollar than Chief Musser's when we were replacing vehicles down there. So, and I know you've heard me talk about all the maintenance and stuff we've had on the ladder truck, and so I've trying to figure that one out in my next probably like 5 to 10 year replacement. So hopefully with that, and it's something that we're always constantly looking at is grant funding. So we're always looking at that for sources of income, but at the same time, those are never guarantees. And so sometimes you win, sometimes we lose on those. So that's one of the things. I mean, we'll still keep doing that, but it's just one of the things that if we can have a little more buffer, because I believe last time I figured up just over 80% of my budget is strictly wages and benefits. So the other 20% gets divided out between utilities, maintenance equipment, or maintenance on everything, plus then a little bit left for new equipment. So that's one of the things where maybe we can, I won't say flip that a little bit to where we can get that a little more towards the new equipment side so we can get some things replaced down there. So thanks. Yeah.
I just wanted to comment as chairman of finance for the past few years. I know the battles have been there, and the chiefs are coming in fighting tooth and nail for what they really need for their department staffing and benefits and equipment, and they're busting their butts to get every grant dollar that they can get. And you see the people that you've finally gotten to a position that are well-trained and stable, and the next thing you know, they're walking out the door because they are now well-trained and present themselves well for another municipality. And what this levy would do would be freeing up some dollars that are dedicated specifically to our safety departments to help them bridge some of those gaps that exist. Because our revenue, if you look at the income tax report, it's pretty stable. It's not going upwards in any great leaps and bounds, and the cost of everything is challenging to us. So the budget we passed does not really give them a lot of extra room to wiggle. So if I could speak personally in support of this levy, I will do so now.
How did we come to this 4.6 number? I mean, what was the determining factor on 4.6 as opposed to any other? Are we looking at, and I guess how many years? I mean, are we looking 5-year levy? I mean, or is this too preliminary?
This is going to be, the proposal is a continuous.
A continuous.
So this is not like the Grove Cemetery
or like the sheriff's department has proposed. This type of provision, we are allowed under the revised code to do continuous, and that has been the request. You know, one of the biggest problems, if this were just for equipment and you had to boost it up, that's one thing, but if you're trying to keep competitive with salaries, and then what happens in 5 years if that money's not there, and then we're really in a difficult situation. So this is drafted as a continuous levy.
So how did we come up with the 4.6? I mean, I agree with both chiefs. I mean, it seems like if they're stealing people away, and, you know, PAL's $117,000 a year. At this 4.6, are we forward thinking in like 5 years from now, salaries may be 130,000? I mean, where are we at as far as where we came up with this number and going forward to keep competitive, I guess, is my question. Cindy?
So it was like, you know, and finally we said, okay, let's take the salaries, let's add 5% every year, and let's look 5 years out. And that number is a break even. So like the first year, you're gonna have a surplus, but that is the break even point in 5 years.
Okay.
So it was forward thinking, yes.
Right, I mean, that was my question. I was just looking for clarity on that.
As you can see, the request, because of the timing, and this is a big request.
Well,
Oh,
could I add one other thing,
Yep.
Joel? I hate to interrupt you.
Nope.
So you guys are not pushing anything tonight. All we're asking for is a letter from Mike Bacon to give the amounts, okay? So this isn't putting this on the voters today. All you're doing is asking for a letter. There's ability to seek public input over the next couple weeks. You guys can think about it. But all we're doing is asking, what's that amount, so we get that certification. The next resolution that we'd have at the following meeting is where we're actually putting the issue to the Board of Elections. And the way I view financial levies, again, I don't always give this feel because the last few, like the Grove Cemetery's renewal, you know, there was no additional money. Even then, you guys aren't for it. You're putting the issue out there, but the voters get to decide this. We're not saying we're gonna tax this. The people have to vote. You're just saying, we're in need. We're gonna let the public feel if this is important enough. And then it's up for us to sell this. So I just don't feel, even if you're like, well, I don't know if I'll vote for it. Well, if this doesn't go to the Board of Elections, no one's voting.
Right.
Okay, so, but tonight, definitely, this is not controversial. We're just asking for a figure so we can put that in the resolution form for the next meeting.
And that's informational then going forward for us to know what the levy will generate and for voters to know how it impacts them based on their valuations. Mr. President, I move for a suspension of the 3-year rule for resolution number 002-25.
I'll second.
Moved by David, second by Steve to suspend the rules. We'll go ahead and vote on that.
Steve Walter,
Yes.
Chad Miller,
Yes.
Peg Wren,
Yes.
Fonda Tudor.
Yes.
Robin Jones.
Yes.
Sue Fox Broker.
Yes.
David Beasley.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
Mr. President, I move for the adoption of the resolution.
Thanks, David.
Second that, please.
Second by Robin. Is there any discussion? All right.
Chad Miller,
Yes.
Peg Wren.
Yes.
Fonda Tudor.
Yes.
Robin Jones.
Yes.
Sue Fox Broker.
Yes.
David Beasley.
Yes.
Steve Walter.
Yes.
That passes also 7-0. Okay, items up for second reading.
Ordinance number 25-002, an ordinance providing for additional appropriations for the year 2025 for the city of Kenton, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
And I believe there's nothing new on this. We still got 2 weeks, right?
Yes. So this, can I talk?
Yeah.
about that? So this goes along with that North Detroit Street project. So this is the one that we found out that we have to upfront the entire payment, our portion of it, to ODOT up front. So what this is doing here is it's borrowing money from the general fund and from the sewer account to put into the water to allow us to make that upfront payment to.
Now, my understanding from your explanation also allowed us to basically put the funds into an escrow account that we control.
Yes. Well, it's into an escrow account, and as soon as the bids are opened, if the bids are lower than the amount that we paid, we get that money back immediately.
Perfect.
The rest of the money will come back as soon as the project is completed and OWDA has paid us our portion of the water line back, and then those monies will be put back into those funds.
So we're loaning
By the
money
end
to
of this,
ourselves.
yes.
So on that principal forgiveness, is that set in stone? The principal forgiveness number, is that already set in stone, or is that gonna be subject to change, like with each round, like the next round it comes up? Will that percentage change, or
For
is
that
that?
lead line?
Yes.
No, it's when, whatever the lead line cost comes in at, this is like an estimate, we will get 57% and 53% in principal forgiveness, and we have to pay the 47%.
So that won't change, that's, okay.
Okay, any objections to reading that again in 2 weeks? All right, next one.
Resolution number 025-24, a resolution finalizing actions under the codified ordinance number 24-017 to permit the city of Kenton to enter into a highway improvement project with the Ohio Department of Transportation and declaring an emergency.
I don't think anything's changed, but Cindy, if you'll give us a refresher.
This is the same thing, the same project. This is just telling, this is the amount of money that we have to pay to ODOT, saying that, yes, we will pay that. So the two kind of go hand in hand.
Okay, so we'll read that again. If it's okay, we'll read that again in 2 weeks. Okay with everybody? All right. Up for third reading.
Ordinance number 24-039, an ordinance to change the zoning of the real property located at 209 North Layton Street in the city of Kenton, Ohio, owned by Tailored Homes LLC from R1, 1 and 2 family residence district to R2, multifamily residence district.
Been quite a few hearings and meetings, and you guys have really been patient with this. Anything new here? I don't think so. Any questions? Okay, it is a third reading.
Mr. President, I move for the adoption of ordinance number 24-039.
Thanks, David. Second by Onda. Onda gave the second. Is there any discussion? Okay.
Peg Ren,
Yes.
Onda Tudor,
Yes.
Robin Jones.
Yes.
Sue Fox Broker,
Yes.
David Beasley,
Yes.
Steve Walter,
Yes.
Chad Miller.
Yes.
All right, that passes 7-0. Okay, other matters need attention at this time. Comments from the public?
I just say thank you for all the time you've spent with me lately. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for your patience.
And we'll see you all next.
It seems like it took 2 years to do that, but I guess it's just...
Oh, we're not done.
Okay, news meeting. All right, then we'll go right on to council members, administration. Ask Chief Musser, anything additional you want to add? Chief Donnelly?
Just be safe, there's something with the
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right, Sue? Yes.
Nothing to add to that.
Oh, maybe this.
Yeah.
I'm good.
No, thanks.
Okay, Robin?
No, thank you.
All right, John, anything to add? All right, Cindy? Mayor Webb?
Just, council, public, reach out, to Emma, the city building. If you need questions answered by either Chief Musser, Chief Donley about anything upcoming. Again, same to the public, call. That you can call in the 8:30 to 4:30, but we could set up meetings, doesn't have to be in that. But again, knowledge is a good thing, and that's where we gotta keep focusing on. Let's get the right thing out there and truth out there, and let's keep moving our city forward. That's what I have.
I want to thank Chad for taking the reins and organizing the presentation before council this evening, getting in touch with the law firm and getting them here and getting us started on at least thinking about charter and the pros and the cons and how it might fit. So appreciate that very much. With regards to levy, you know, folks, to echo what John said, yeah, we're maybe asking a lot for you all to consider this in 2 readings here. But as John said, you're not making the decision, you're getting it in front of the city of Kenton so those voters can make that decision. As far as the data behind it, I cannot think of the last tax of any type that was increased in this city. I'll repeat that. I cannot think of the last tax of any type that was increased by this city, in this city. We've been at the same income tax rate for, I don't know, John, how many?
I don't know
A
the
long-
answer to that. Yeah.
Probably, did we ever, I bet it came on at that.
It may have, but it's been over 50.
At the same time, to the point, as Lynn said, we get about $7 per hundred
Property tax.
property tax. Everyone thinks that, or per
Yeah,
thousand, per
thousand.
hundred. Ooh. $7 per thousand on property tax. We do not receive property tax in the city of Kenton to speak of. And over all those same decades, we've lost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars from the state government. Because that's what it took for the state government to do some budget balancing way back 10 years ago. I mean, we can look at 20 years of budgets in a row, and we can look at that revenue portion of it. And anyone that wants to see it can see how much money we've lost in the city of Kenton, on the backs of the employees of the city of Kenton, police, fire, streets, have worked within the confines of those tax dollars. And we're at the wit's end. And by the way, to clear it up, we're not paying $117,000. Okay? And we have police officers that do an incredible job with what they have to do each and every day. We have firemen who are trained not only in fire, but in medic. And the folks that want to be a fireman now want to have that training and want to utilize that training. So we've got to pay them. We have police officers that have certifications that they could go work anywhere else. We've got to pay them. So yeah, it is about business, Chief. And we're not going to get any businesses here if we don't have safety. So we have to figure out a way to do that. So if anyone has any questions, please ask. We'll get the answers if we don't have them. With that, we'll meet here again on January 27th, and it looks like the committee with regards to utilities will meet tomorrow? Wednesday at 5:30 here. Outside of that, normally meetings are a little bit slow this first month or 2 of the year, so we look forward to seeing everyone in 2 weeks. With that, we're adjourned.